Welcome back. All right, so game four is done. It's in the books. Not a very long overtime needed, but it did go to overtime. Now, the interesting part of this to me is simple. I thought Montreal had their best game of the series tonight. I did. I thought Montreal did a really good job of limiting the chances for Vegas, but again, it shows that the Vegas Golden Knights are very good at taking advantage of not getting very many opportunities. And it's been part of their identity through the first 4 years of their existence, and tonight is just another example of it. So Leonard was starting tonight. I know there were Vegas fans that were angry about Leonard being the starter, and I know it was this big deal about Leonard being the starter. All I see with that is I've always liked Leonard as a goaltender. I think he gets unfairly criticized. They're paying him a lot of money. So if they don't have any faith in him and they're paying him a lot of money, I don't understand that part of it. And yeah, it was his first game in a while, but the last game he was in, he was the sacrificial lamb against Colorado. That game is not an indicator of how poorly he played. That game was an indicator about Vegas just taking the night off in the first game against Colorado. And bless his heart, Leonard took that one for the team. Pretty legit. That's the best way to describe it. He took that one for the team. Brown was in, Reeves was out. Has a dramatic effect on how Vegas plays. Vegas is not as physical when Reeves isn't in the lineup. Changes everything. I would expect Reeves to be in the next game because, again, you want to give Montreal different looks and more challenges. But, again, Montreal played really well tonight. And, of course, Father's Day game. Happy Father's Day to everybody watching out there who may be a father now, maybe a father later, and maybe a father and they don't know it. So, yeah, fun lights again at the Montreal Arena. I do like that, all the lights and the seats and all that, and 3,500 in attendance, and they were plenty allowed. First chances went to Vegas. They were for Riley Smith and Alec Martinez. And you're looking at this and going, okay, so Vegas has come out and they're ready. Not really. Montreal from there on, they control a lot of this game. Perry had a net drive that failed. The fans called a penalty there. I have to say, and I don't normally talk about the referees and directly name them, but Chris Lee, after tonight, I would love to have a conversation with the NHL about how he calls a single game after this for the rest of the playoffs. This was, and again, I hate to have that conversation, but this had to be the worst officiated 2 games I've watched. And he's the glue that binds that whole idea together, that the officiating needs to be changed. So, and again, Corey Perry, who I hated him. I couldn't stand him 5 years ago. I remember the last time Anaheim was in the playoffs, he was directly the reason that they got eliminated. He was a big part of it, and he kept taking bad penalties. But he's been great for Dallas last year, great for Montreal this year, and I begrudgingly have respect for him. It doesn't feel like the officiating does. It feels like the officiating, when they see something happen to Perry, they go, yeah, he's probably faking it. That's the impression I get through the TV, and I don't like it. So, fans called a penalty. Gallagher was then denied. Things get pushy at 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Shots are 2 apiece. Good puck pressure by the Habs. No room out there for Vegas tonight, and that's the best way to play them, right? The goalie taunts started. I don't like goalie taunts in a scoreless game. I've never liked it. I've been in an arena, been in Vancouver when goalie taunts start against the other team's goalie, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? I don't join in. I'm like, what's going on? And I'll even turn to my wife and say that seems like a bad idea because we haven't got a goal yet, so maybe not taunting the other team's goalie is the best way to go. But again, it's just me. I'm old. It's what happens. Both goalies had been sharp early on. Smith fires one high, evenly played game, physical. Kotkaniemi and Gallagher were both stopped. Armia was denied as the fourth line presses. We need to start calling them something other than the fourth line, I think. I think there needs to be a really good nickname for that line. But Armia's been great. Kotkaniemi then breaks up a Roy shot. Stahl was absolutely robbed by Leonard, who again had a really good game. Perry can't draw a penalty. That brings more booze. Perry again. It's just anything. We saw that last game. Anything can happen. They're like, we're not blowing the whistle. Even if you're going to say, well, the puck probably hit him. You blow the whistle when a guy gets cracked in the face with the puck and he's bleeding all over the place. It's generally considered to be the gentlemanly thing to do. And then the question was whether or not Leonard had his glove in on that shot where Stahl was robbed, and they couldn't find an angle that showed the puck in the net. It doesn't look like it actually crossed the line. So yeah, with the review, no goal. The shots are 7-3 for the Habs with 7 minutes left. So Montreal is starting to take control of this game. They're not letting anything in. in their zone. Pietrangelo breaks up a Dano net pass. Kotkaniemi had a net drive that wouldn't go. Fans wanted a call. This is where the first ref you suck chant starts. Suzuki shot was saved. More shots in the first for the Habs than in the first 40 minutes of Game 3. So again, they played much better in Game 4 than they did in Game 3. We end up with a different result. Big Leonard rebound was cleared out. Leonard was giving up some rebounds tonight. They just could not get to them. Not often enough. Pacioretty a shot that deflects high. And Vegas is aiming high on Price, which is not necessarily a surprise. Goalies tend to be weaker on the high shots. High glove is pretty standard. The low shots they should be able to save. They normally will, unless it's a 5-hole goal, which they do happen, but not as often. At least it doesn't seem like it does. Anderson had tons of time out there. He fired one wide. It was one of those ones where Anderson fired it, and I'm like, man, was that the best option? 15 and a half seconds left. The Habs would ice the puck, but we didn't get a goal off a face-off tonight for Vegas. Did not happen tonight like it did in the previous 2 games, because in the last game it didn't happen either. So Montreal's either getting better at it, or Vegas just hasn't had those chances. So we go to the second period scoreless. First chance goes to Vegas. Dano then had a shot that was saved. Another good start for Kotkaniemi, who, and I mentioned this on Twitter, Kotkaniemi seems to be better in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. I think Montreal's made up of players who are better in the playoffs than they are in the regular season. And it is fascinating to watch them in the postseason because it's a completely different team. The penalty kill is completely different. Everything about Montreal is different in the postseason than it was in the regular season. Smith had a shot that deflects out. Gallagher had a backhand on a fast break, which was stopped. Gallagher's getting really frustrated. He has had so many opportunities. None of them are going in for him. Pacioretty then fans on one. Pietrangelo leads an attack. He's forced out wide. Roy then had a net drive that was defended. Price ends up freezing the puck. Byron fires one wide. Short press for Montreal. Strong Habs defense. No easy pucks for Vegas at this point in the second period. Marchessault fires one high. Gallagher has a shot that's saved and held. And it's been a chess match. The shots with 8.5 minutes left are only 4 apiece. There were more shots in that last 8 minutes than there actually were in the first 12 minutes of that period. So Perry tried a bank shot from behind the goal line. Doesn't go in, but it's an interesting strategy there. Leonard clears out a dangerous puck that I believe it was Caulfield was going for. Yeah, and if he hadn't come out and realized, hey, I don't think my guy's getting to that puck, that could have been in the back of the net. Caulfield then tries to jam one in. Leonard holds. We get a crowd after Anderson taps the glove. Josh Anderson taps the glove. Not a surprise. And we end up with a crowd after that. Petrie then prevents a Smith shot. Gallagher deflects one out. Gallagher, again, just absolutely snake bit. Neither team with sustained pressure. You'll notice there's not a lot of so-and-so presses in this game. It really wasn't happening. This was a really well-defended game to this stage. And then Nosek and Weber just kind of go at it. Nosek with a cross-check. Weber punches him in the back of the head. Right in front of the ref. And the ref's kind of like, oh, this is great. So cross-check, punch in the back of the head. Oh, those are penalties. I don't know. All right, well, fine. And then after the whistle that finally came, I don't know why there wasn't a whistle earlier, we have 4-on-4. And at this point, I'm like, okay, what are you doing? Why was that allowed? But we'll talk about that. So maybe yellow card for that one. All right. Yeah, I had a feeling the Cards would come back for this one. So, yeah, Petro was denied. We get ref, you suck, chance starting out. And then the Habs take a penalty. The fans were unhappy. There was 3:16 left in the period. Suzuki with a wrap on the hands. So here's the thing. Cross-check, not a penalty. Punch in the back of the head, not a penalty. Tap on the hands is a penalty. No idea. No clue. None. Pretty sure there was some more ref, you suck chants going on, but I was busy saying, what in the world is happening here? So Vegas 0 for 10 in the series. They call a timeout with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left, 55 seconds left in the power play. Post for Pietrangelo, pretty darn close. Their power play looked better after the timeout, but the Habs did kill it off, only allowed the one shot on net. And then Suzuki was fresh out of the box, probably still angry about the slashing call. He passes it to Byron. Byron on a break. And at 18:55, it's a 1-0 lead in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. Then with 21 seconds left, the Habs get a power play. So the puck gets cleared out. And then I don't know what's going on. Just Chris Lee decided, I'm not doing my job. I'm not going to do my job. I'm gonna just stand here and watch everybody kind of punch each other and whatever. Let's just roll the clock down. Can I go now? Even Craig Simpson. Craig Simpson says, you want to lose control of the game? This is how you do it. How bad is it when Craig... Like, I saw that on Twitter too, people saying, how bad is it when Craig Anderson calls out the officials? How bad is it for me to give a red card to the referee? To say, you're out of here, but I'm the ref. I don't care. We have a really well-trained golden retriever in the back. You know, Air Bud? We're going to put Air Bud in there as the ref. We think he'll do a better job. We think he'll be better. Yeah. Hey, you, row 6, seat 15. Come on down here. Can you skate? No? Doesn't matter. Just you have a good pair of loafers there. Just slide around the ice. You can call penalties. Chris Lee, your job is done for tonight. I don't get it. Third period. Coming out of all that, third period. So Montreal still has a power play. Suzuki had a shot that was saved. Vegas does complete the kill. And it is advantageous, I think, to be a team that has a whole in-between period time to come up with a penalty kill. Vegas would press after that. Pietrangelo had a point shot go wide. Pacioretty had a shot stopped. Price holds. I thought Vegas played much better in the third. The interesting thing to me with Vegas is the shot attempts are very close to even. Vegas wasn't getting the shots on net. The block shots are relatively high for Montreal, but there were a lot of shots that were just missing high or missing wide. So, again, I think it's that they're trying to thread the needle on Price, and I think they should be getting more of them on the net. But yeah, so stronger start for Vegas. Series on the line. You can tell Vegas nearly deflects one in off of Sherratt. Doesn't go in. Sherratt probably very happy that Carey Price makes the save there. Gallagher couldn't bury one. Puck goes out of play again. Caulfield had a break. Leonard denies him. Caulfield, what a game for Caulfield again. Pressed by the Knights at 8 minutes. The Habs cleared out. Vegas presses again. Gallagher, net feed, that was covered. Petrie had a shot that was stopped. Gustafsson then fell down in his own end. I know Gustafsson's there for the power play. They're not getting power plays. So, I honestly, personally, for me, I would think about putting Kulak or Romanov in for the next game. But, again, that's me. The Habs do end up clearing it out, but then McNabb. He finds... And again, this is one of those goals that I understand there's not a lot of room there. And I understand McNabb threads the needle. But Price just misses it. And it's one of those ones that goes between the glove and the body. And if it's the kind of shot that Price, I think, saves 99 times out of 100. But McNabb scores from Carlson and Theodore at 10 minutes and 37 seconds. What's interesting is, with McNabb getting a goal, that is 5 defensemen who've had goals for the Vegas Golden Knights in this series. Their forwards, nowhere to be found. Their forwards aren't scoring. Their defensemen are. So that's kind of weird, isn't it? I think that's really bizarre that all the goals seem to be coming from defensemen in this series for Vegas. Vegas then pressed for the lead. Once they tied it, they understood, hey, we can get back in this series. And Montreal was kind of under siege there. Tuck fires one wide, because that's what was going on. The other thing, too, it was addressed in between periods, and I didn't actually hear it. I heard them talking about it after they came back for the third. When Montreal was missing the net, those pucks were just bouncing right off the glass and coming right back out. And what ends up happening is you have 2 guys going in on a play, and you bounce that puck off the glass and it goes the other way. It's now an odd man rush in the other direction. So you've got to make sure that you're watching where those pucks are going to go if they miss the net. So, Caulfield fires one high. I thought the Habs needed better shot selection. I put that right on the board. And not necessarily just because of the fact that you're getting odd man rushes the other way. But I thought they needed to slow down and really think about the shot and take it. I thought there were some panicky shots from way out of position, way outside, that aren't going in the net, and you don't have somebody crashing the net to bury a rebound or a deflection. So, it might be one of those things where some of the less experienced members of Montreal are trying to force something through there, right? And good defense by Vegas there as well. So, Vegas, better since the goal. Danault couldn't bury one. Gallagher, snake bit again in that period. Anderson took a puck to the face. Stays in the game, though. Pressed by Vegas with 1.5 minutes left. Habs couldn't clear it out. They finally did. But then we get a kick save on Marchessault in the final minute. So again, Vegas playing much better after that goal. The second half of the third period, the best they played. So it's overtime. You have a chance as Montreal to go up 3-1. But Vegas knows they're down 3-1 if they lose this. So Vegas came out with the jump in the overtime. Both teams had 11 slot shots through the first 60 minutes. So while the shots do favor Montreal, slot shots, which are the dangerous ones, tell you this game was pretty even. And I'm guessing a lot of those slot shots were in the last 10 minutes for Vegas. Habs 4-0 coming into tonight in overtime. Vegas 1-3 in overtime in the playoffs coming into tonight. Those records get a little bit closer with this result. Habs seek to stretch past to Toffoli. They wanted those home run passes. And again, it's, again, Montreal I thought played a good game, but you want to play the safe play. And if you miss those home run passes, now you've got a guy who's beyond the defense. And again, you've got those odd-numbered rushes coming back at you. Raw ends up getting a goal from Pacioretty and Tuck at 1:18. It was a beautiful goal by Nick Raw. Price makes the save on the first one, throws the stick to try to make the save on the second. Just couldn't get it. Huge season-saving goal by Nicholas Raw. And again, where's Stone? Where's Marchessault? Where's Carlson? Where's Smith? Where's Pacioretty even? Although Pacioretty gets the assist here, he doesn't end up getting a goal. And so for goal scoring, you get goals from McNabb and Raw for Vegas. So the unsung heroes come through again. Vegas is in a tie series with a 2-1 win in overtime. Wasn't the prettiest, but they get the win, right? So other interesting thing with this is that Robin Lehner, they showed on the replay, he doesn't even move after that goal went in. He stayed in that net for a little bit. Sort of like he was in shock that went in, or he was letting it sink in that puck went in the net. And to Marc-Andre Fleury's credit, he comes out, celebrates with the guys, and he celebrates with Robin Lehner. Lehner and Fleury have never had any drama with one another. While fans and media go back and forth about the whole Lehner-Fleury controversy, there isn't any for Fleury. None. Shots in this game do favor Montreal through most of the game. 11-4 in the first, 9-8 in the second, and 8-6 in the third. In the overtime, Vegas, I have them credited with 2 shots. The last I looked at the app, it said 1. But that's not possible because Price makes the save, and then the next shot went in. So that's 2 shots. So the final shots are 28-20 in favor of Montreal. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 1. So, again, there were so many things that weren't called on both teams in this game, and then what was called was kind of like, seriously? Like, you could almost hear when that power play goes for the Habs right after they kill that one off, you could almost hear the referee going 2 minutes for a makeup penalty. Hits 40-24 for Montreal. Block shots 19-16 for Montreal. Robin Lehner saves 27 out of 28. He was great. When he did kick out bad rebounds, his defense was there to clear him out. Price saves 18 out of 20. Again, I know it's rough. If he just had his glove in position just that split second earlier, he saves that McNabb shot, and we might have had ourselves a shutout for Price. But we have a tie series. Montreal's still in this. You're guaranteed a Game 6 in Montreal. Should be fascinating. But for Price, it's a rough loss. And for Chris Lee, he gets the yellow and red card on this game. Because, yeah. All right, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.